Welcome back, traders. Let's have a follow-up on the three currencies that we were looking at on Tuesday. We were looking at the euro dollar, the Aussie dollar, and the pound dollar. And we saw that starting with the pound dollar, we had a pretty decent range that things are trading inside. And we can see at the points, I think it was around here that we were predicting, it has actually come down and bounced right off that range again and gone back inside. So this is kind of confirming that definitely on the pound dollar, things are going ahead pretty much as expected. And we're still waiting for a decent movement out of here. On the Australian versus US dollar, we can see again that we are remaining inside the range, although it does look like we've had some better formations inside this range than on the pound dollar. So the Aussie dollar is more tradable at the moment, and interestingly enough, on the euro dollar, it seems to have broken through down at the bottom here. Now, this leads me to believe that something is going on inside the euro itself. So what we can do is let's have a look at the deviation between the pound and the euro, and just see if that kind of gives us a bit of a clue. Here we go. We have the euro pound. I'm applying the same template and sticking it on the 4-hour. Now this, wow, okay. So things have been moving quite a lot here. We can see that the euro has come down significantly against the pound. Now this kind of follows up here as well, because we can see that the euro is weakening quite a lot against the US dollar, which means we're seeing more divergence between, let's put that there, we're seeing more divergence between the euro and the pound as things go on. The longer term, we can see the longer term trend still looks like it's quite bullish, but remember this is the 4-hour chart. So from here until there, I mean, that's a significant amount of time. This is all the way back in April, so it's a full month that has gone by that we've been seeing this bullish movement. Checking the bigger time frame, things have been very interesting with regards to the divergence happening here. So this doesn't give us too much of a clue. It's just more kind of explaining why the euro dollar is deviating out of here, whereas the Aussie dollar and the pound dollar have remained exactly the same. But how we can use this to our advantage is we are looking for this range to be broken, right? We see on the euro US dollar that the range is breaking down here. But now this might just be because the euro is suffering a little bit. It's not really indicative of the US dollar changing too much. So if we see that, say, the Aussie dollar also breaks through at the bottom and the pound dollar breaks through at the bottom, then it looks like this euro US dollar trade is going to be fantastic. And to double check it, we can see how the euro is doing against the pound. But since we are comparing two currency pairs with a shared currency being the euro, we can bring in the pound dollar. Now look at this. We have three different currency pairs and three different currencies. And this starts painting a much bigger picture of what is happening. So we see here, the euro is doing better against the pound in very recent history, slightly long term, mostly negative. Against the US dollar, it's been relatively sideways, but the longer thing has been negative. So the euro has been negative mostly, very much sideways. And this way we can see, okay, so the euro is falling. This movement here has less to do with the US dollar than it does with the euro. So the next step is to look at our news and we see what is coming up that might change things. Here we go. All right, we can see some positive news that came out of the Australian dollar. Not massively different to what was expected, but still better. So that is a positive. But we're more interested in the big movers for the euro and the dollar. Okay, so we have some information coming out of the US dollar in 58 minutes. This is where I would be sitting and I'd go and I'd check all of my trades that have the dollar, specifically the euro dollar. I'm expecting a continuation of the euro weakening. If at the same time this news comes out as positive for the US dollar, then I would go ahead and I'd trade off this breakout coming down. See, I'm not trading off the breakout on its own. I need some sort of confirmation. I need to know that the bigger picture is painting very much on a short position happening here. And then we don't seem to have much major news coming out of the euro or the US dollar for the rest of the week. So there's a good chance if this does break down and if the news comes out later as being positive for the US dollar, we'll see a continuation of a short position perhaps for the rest of the day. We'll have to look at it again on Friday to see if we would hold that position over the weekend. But have a look at this movement. By the time you're watching this video, that news event may have already happened. So go ahead, load it up, mark it off on the charts and see what happened there and how you could have used that to your advantage.